For us, the war against wild boars never truly ends. They wreak havoc all year round, no matter the terrain or the weather. When they hide in the icy snow-capped mountains and slip into the shadowy snowy forests, the pursuit becomes tougher than ever. Treacherous slopes force us to tread with extreme caution, while the blinding white forest erases almost every trace. But no matter where they hide, no matter how harsh the conditions, our mission remains the same. Stop these beasts before they destroy the crops and the livelihood of the locals. Today, join us on 2 thrilling hunts to see how we dealt with them. First, let's head into the majestic snow-covered mountains of the United States. Armed with rifles, winter gear, binoculars, and every piece of essential equipment, we were ready to take on the icy challenge. The wild boar hunt in the frozen mountains officially begins. After nearly an hour tracking deep prints in the thick snow, the entire team froze in place. A faint rustle came from up ahead. So quiet, the whole forest seemed to hold its breath. I moved closer, raised my binoculars, and scanned for movement. Then I saw them, a herd of wild boars, moving silently in single file across a snowy hillside. Without hesitation, I raised my rifle locked onto my target, a boar in the middle of the group, wading slowly through the snow in search of food. Then, boom, the gunshot ripped through the frozen silence. The boar collapsed into the white snow. Nearby, my teammate David took down another, adding to today's haul. The rest of the herd scattered in panic, charging toward a snowy ridge, right where David was lying in wait. One lone boar broke away from the group, stranded in the blinding snow, and walked straight into my sights. Perfect distance, perfect timing. Then, boom, its massive body crumpled into the deep snow without a chance to fight back. Hours of patience ended in a single second. We pushed deeper into the dense forest, where the snow was churned up, clear signs the herd had just been feeding. Ahead, 2 boars were buried in their feast, heads down and completely unaware. I squeezed the trigger. The shot cracked like thunder. The beast dropped. Instantly, the challenger had fallen. What do you think? Was that a perfect shot? Let us know in the comments. Now, let's head into an entirely different hunt, deep winter in the frozen forests of North America. A perfect hideout for wild boars, and a sign that things were about to get intense. Unbelievable. My hunting dog was pushing a boar at least 5 times its size straight toward me. No hesitation, I pulled the trigger. The bullet was so fast, it was almost invisible, striking the beast dead on. A clean fall. The snowy backdrop made for the perfect final scene. Do you think this shot deserves golden moment status? Comment below. That afternoon, we ventured deeper into the snow-covered woods. Suddenly, a wild boar burst into a sprint across the frozen forest. I tracked it quickly. The open clearing ahead was the perfect place to end it. The first shot rang out, boom, breaking the stillness of the forest. The boar slid and collapsed in the icy snow. Not far away, David took down 2 more. As the daylight faded, the last light filtered through the old trees, carrying a chill and a rush of adrenaline. I lined up for the final shot of the day. The first bullet missed, my heart skipped a beat. The boar spun and ran. I quickly followed with a second shot. It crashed into the brush and fell. Brutal, yet spectacular. On the other side, a single shot from my teammate claimed another life just as cleanly. And the most important thing, every moment happened within the bounds of the law, respecting nature and ethical hunting. This wasn't just the end of a forest hunt, it was the pinnacle of skill, patience, and honor that only a responsible hunter truly deserves. And just like that, today's hunt came to a close. The team returned with plenty of game, wide smiles, and relief knowing we had eliminated threats to this land. Wild boars, the silent but deadly destroyers of farmlands. When night falls, they sneak into gardens and fields, trampling crops, tearing through barns, and leaving farmers in despair. And when the destruction crosses the line of tolerance, a new mission is triggered. Hunt them down to protect the farms. This is no longer just a hunt, it's a battle between man and the wild. Will the beasts surrender this time? Or will they once again become the nightmare that haunts local farmers? Join us in today's relentless pursuit. At first light, we begin our slow advance into the deep forest, a known trail often used by the notorious boar herd. Our weapons are locked and loaded, GPS in hand. Hunting dogs alert. Every step is measured. Every sound is a potential threat in the heavy silence. Suddenly, a dark silhouette emerges from a thicket. It seems unaware of the danger lurking behind. I pivot instinctively, raise my rifle, steady my grip, and pull the trigger. A sharp crack pierces the forest. The shot lands. The boar stumbles a few steps and collapses under the damp canopy. Tension falls over the woods like a curtain. we move deeper into the jungle, where sunlight barely filters through the leaves. Out of nowhere, a massive beast explodes from the brush, its hulking body slicing through the trees like a bolt of fury. No hesitation. I aim fast through the canopy and fire. The shot lands. The beast crashes to the ground, sliding across fallen leaves before coming to a halt. Just when we thought the fight was over, barely 10 minutes later, two muscular boars burst from the brush, charging straight toward me. I stay calm, raise my rifle, steady my breathing. One shot, then another. Both bullets find their mark. The wild pigs collapse into the forest floor, powerless to resist. Suddenly, I receive a call from the team. Fresh boar activity has been spotted out in the open field ahead. No time to waste. I break away from the canopy, sprint toward the clearing. Everything's ready. The chase is back on. From a distance, a dark figure sprints right into my line of sight. A fully grown wild boar, massive and aggressive. Without a second thought, I lift the rifle, hold my stance, and fire. The sharp crack of the shot echoes across the empty field. The boar jerks and drops, lifeless on the damp earth. The gunshot sends a shockwave through the field. From the distant thickets, an entire herd bursts out, running in every direction, panicked and desperate to escape. I adjust quickly, locked onto a fast runner ahead. Fire. Another clean shot. The target falls. The rest scatter wildly across the plains. I immediately give chase in the direction the herd fled. Just 2 minutes later, a massive boar cuts across my flank, charging blindly for an escape. I spin, raise the rifle, and fire. The boar crashes into green grass, thrashing briefly before going still. At that very moment, on the opposite side of the field, my teammate is already in position. He spots a gigantic boar barreling through the tall grass. He locks in and fires. The bullet hits clean. The beast stumbles, then collapses on the spot. One precise shot, a clean finish. This hunting mission ends with moments of heart-pounding tension and thrilling confrontations. From tangled forest trails to wide-open fields, every shot fired was more than just skill, it was a responsibility, a duty to protect the land from destructive invaders. All operations in this hunt followed strict legal regulations for managing invasive species and ensuring safety for both people and the environment.
Matthew received an invitation to join a hunting trip this weekend in a rural area of Spain. This is a traditional wild boar hunting competition, held annually to protect fields from the ever-lurking, destructive herds. Determined to eliminate these pests, Matthew and his group of hunters are ready to set out. Let's hit the road. Accompanied by fierce hunting dogs, the group ventures straight into the rugged mountains. The terrain here is harsh, with jagged rocks interspersed with low shrubs, but visibility remains clear enough for them to scan their surroundings. Just minutes after arriving at the location, Robert Sanchez, a sharp-eyed teammate, spots a wild boar lurking in the bushes. Without hesitation, he fires and takes down the first boar with a shot so precise it's astonishing, despite the whistling wind. The pack of hunting dogs immediately scatters, scouring every nook and cranny for the herd. Their relentless barking echoes through the forest, signaling to their masters that more targets are near. Another boar comes into Robert's sights, but this time, his first shot misses. He quickly adjusts, and with the second shot, the boar is subdued. The group presses on to the mountain's highest point, where the dogs continue their fervent search. From a drone hovering above, Matthew spots a massive boar hiding among dense bushes. As the dogs flush it out of cover, the group fires in unison, bringing down the prey with little difficulty. Wild boars here are so abundant that they boldly invade farms and fields in search of food, becoming a nightmare for local farmers. When a gigantic boar bolts in panic across the mountainside, Matthew takes aim. His first shot misses, but with the second, he drops the boar instantly, a perfectly placed, satisfying shot. Tracking the wild boars charging across the mountainside, the group doesn't hesitate, firing several shots with determination to claim more trophies. The booming gunfire blends with the dogs barking, making the hunt increasingly dramatic and intense. A shaggy-coated boar briefly appears before them, weaving through dense bushes, seemingly aware of the imminent danger. The pack of dogs instantly detects it and gives chase, hot on its heels. As the boar emerges on the opposite slope, Matthew decides not to miss the opportunity despite the considerable distance. A shot rings out, but unfortunately, it misses the mark. The boar continues to bolt down the trail, growing fiercer by the moment. By instinct, it might flee, but when threatened, it turns to charge the dogs. When it reaches an open spot, Matthew seizes the moment, swiftly aiming and dropping the prey instantly. The wild boar hunting competition continues with unrelenting tension. Across the mountains, other hunters are also scouring the terrain, and many boars have already been taken down. It's the only way for locals to protect their fields from the boar's destruction. In an unexpected moment, a bold boar charges into a lake and swims to the opposite shore, momentarily throwing the dogs off, but soon, they leap into the water and resume the pursuit, refusing to let the prey slip away. The hunt now transforms into a high-stakes race, with everyone eager to claim victory by bagging the most prey. The excitement and tension have never been greater. From a distance, Matthew spots a massive wild boar charging through a small stream. Despite its robust frame, it moves with agility and caution, weaving through dense bushes. With only a fleeting moment to act, Matthew doesn't hesitate and fires. The bullet strikes the boar's flank, leaving it no chance to escape. Wild boars here often move alone, Unlike the herds Matthew has hunted elsewhere. Perhaps the relentless pursuit by the hunting dogs has spooked them, forcing them to split from the group. This makes the challenge even tougher, heightening the thrill and excitement of the hunting competition. Another ill-fated boar falls into the trap set by the pack of dogs. These four-legged warriors are true heroes of the fields, fearlessly charging at the massive prey. The boar struggles desperately to break free from the encirclement, but its efforts are futile. In a flash, the hunters swiftly finish off the prey, marking yet another victory in this gripping journey. The hunt continues with the unwavering enthusiasm of the hunting dogs. The group quickly selects advantageous positions for an ambush, ready to wait for the panicked herd of boars to pass by. When the moment arrives, Matthew only needs to raise his rifle, aim directly at the target, and fire with precision. Incredible. A massive wild boar is brought down after a few shots. As the afternoon fades, with sunlight still stretching across the mountain peaks, the hunt draws to a close. The hunters assist each other in collecting their trophies, the wild boars they've taken down. The atmosphere buzzes with excitement. Everyone is satisfied, not only with the number of boars hunted but also because they've helped protect local agriculture from these destructive pests.
Wild boars, creatures once thought to lurk only in deep forests, have become a true nightmare for rural communities. They rampage through fields, destroying crops, attacking livestock, and even targeting humans. Faced with this growing threat, farmers and hunters are forced to take action to protect their livelihoods. How have they confronted these ferocious beasts? Join us on a thrilling and suspenseful journey to hunt wild boars in today's video. Join us at the snowy hills of Montana, USA, in the depths of winter, where wild boars relentlessly churn the frozen ground, wreaking havoc on ecosystems and crops. We've come fully equipped with firearms, cold weather gear, thermal binoculars, and all necessary tools. The hunt in the frigid wilderness officially begins. Tracking footprints etched in the thick snow for an hour, we suddenly heard a strange noise ahead. All of a sudden, a dark shadow shot out from the bushes like an arrow slicing through the air. Immediately, I raised my rifle, locked onto the target, and pulled the trigger. The gunshot rang out clean and decisive. The beast collapsed, tumbling a few times on the snowy ground before lying still. It seems my gunshot startled the other prey nearby. From a distance, another wild boar emerged. Swiftly pulling the trigger, the bullet struck its head, leaving the beast no chance to escape. The winter battlefield ended with victory for the steely hunters. Now, join me for another hunting adventure in the scorching summer of the American South, where the blistering heat drives wild boars to gather around fields and water sources. Firearms, binoculars, and tracking gear are ready. A new battleground, a new hunt begins now. Trekking along the hillside at dawn, we swiftly set out to hunt the ferocious beasts in the area. Suddenly, a rustling sound nearby signaled something approaching. A dark shadow burst from the thicket. I immediately drew my rifle, aiming straight at the target. The gunshot rang out decisively. The beast collapsed instantly, completely subdued by the hunter's barrel. The hunting dogs were unleashed, swiftly picking up the scent and driving the prey toward us. Moments later, from the edge of the hill, a massive beast suddenly charged forward. Unfazed, I raised my rifle, locking onto the target. The gunshot echoed through the still air, and in an instant the beast collapsed onto the parched ground, unable to resist. A few minutes later, another wild boar was struggling to climb up the rocky cliff. I raised my rifle, squinted to align the shot, and pulled the trigger without hesitation. The bullet whistled through the air, striking the target dead on. The beast lurched violently, then staggered, sliding down the hillside. Not far away, a teammate of mine was swiftly shouldering his rifle, eyes locked on a target sprinting wildly across the hills. The prey tried to accelerate, but mere seconds later, a sharp crack echoed. All movement ceased. IT collapsed without time to react. Today's journey concludes with breathless pursuits through untamed wilderness, where neither the harsh winter nor the blazing summer could halt the hunter's steps. All actions were carried out in strict accordance with legal regulations in designated hunting areas in the USA.